Let's see.
Right. All right. So I'm starting to let everyone in. Whew, a lot of note takers, boy. I hope founders intend to also be here in person.
Every meeting, there's a lot of
Yeah,
speakers.
I know, right? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Melissa. Hey, Milia.
Everyone.
Hey, Maria.
Hi.
Isabel. Hola.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
Oh,
All right. So we'll give everyone a few minutes to filter in. Jeffrey just joined as well. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. We're allowing everyone a few minutes to filter in, but in the meantime, feel free to unmute and say hi. Exciting day ahead, exciting evening ahead. Oh, here's Neil. Let them in. Hey, Sati is here. Hey, Sati.
Hi, Sati.
Hello.
Emil just joined.
hi, Raul.
Hey, Neil. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Jonathan just joined. Hey, Jonathan. Just giving everyone a few minutes to filter in. Davia, welcome back. Emmanuel, good to see you. Hi, Jean. Jeff, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Michael.
Hi.
Hey everyone, good to see you, Raul.
Likewise, bud. Happy to have you here. Hey, Franz. Hey, Melissa. Nikkei, if you can just give me a number in terms of founders in attendance, so we have an idea of.
1 second.
Sure. Million, I know it's either super late or super early for you, so I appreciate you being here, man.
Oh no, for sure. Thanks for the idea. I think the same with Nika, right? And
Oh yeah, I'm suffering right with you.
it's midnight, guys. So yeah, but so happy to be here.
The time zone challenge is so real that Nika decided to move from Europe to Asia just so that she could work better with the Caribbean chapter.
Really?
Exactly.
Commitment.
Mackenzie, good
That's
to have
what
you
we do
back,
for our
man.
founders, you know. So I think we have like 9 or 10 founders.
All right. Giselle just joined and Mackenzie just joined. We'll kick things off at 6:05. So the stragglers can straggle in. Adana, you'll just keep an eye on the waiting room, and then I'll kick off at 6:05. Sean is coming back in. All right. So let's not be shy. Feel free to put on your cameras. Just remain muted unless you're speaking. But we love to see beautiful faces. And we'll be taking some screenshots, so put your makeup on.
Come on.
Hi, Gabriella.
Hi, Raul. Hi, FI Caribbean. So great to be here.
Great to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Gabriela.
Hi, Adana. How are you?
All right, so it's 6:05. So I'm gonna kick things off. So Nikki, if you could just give me an updated head count in terms of founders in the room, and Adana, if you could just keep an eye on the waiting room for me, please.
Sure, I'm in the waiting
and
room
I'll-
and in the chat.
Okay, great. And I'm gonna share screen. So we're at 34 folks in the room right now, so we should have most of the founders in. And today's session is private. It's not open to the public. Let me close this out. All right. Can you all let me know if you're seeing my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Is the video blocking anyone's view? Sorry, because it's like horizontal on my screen. Oh, is it fine?
No, we can see fine.
Okay, great. I saw Inga just came in.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to the second cohort of Founder Institute Caribbean. We had a remarkable inaugural cohort where we enrolled 38 founders from across the region. 13 countries were represented, and we graduated around 17. In our second cohort, and my screen is on to right. Oops. In our second cohort, I'm really excited to share that we received 78 applications from across the region, and this is including Latin America. So even though we lead the Caribbean chapter, founders from across the region can apply. So it's really based on the founder's preference in terms of which chapter they would like to join. Ultimately, 17 were enrolled. So this speaks to a couple of things. One is, I see Melissa is here. One is our entrepreneur DNA assessment is our biggest litmus test, right? So that's the major focal point for us when reviewing applications, because at the really early ideation stage, it's not so much about your idea or what you're building. It's more about, does this founder have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? Are they resilient? Can they, roll with the punches and get back up? Because, as we all know, a founder life is pretty difficult. So that's one of the factors that would sort of speak to 78 versus 17. And then the other factor, of course, is Founder Institute isn't a school per se, right? It's you learn by doing. So in other words, founders have to be at the stage in their own personal, professional life to make that first investment in themselves. So they need to make an investment in the course. They need to make an investment in incorporating their company, in launching. So graduates succeed because they have actually launched their business. So this isn't one of those programs where you're just taking notes and then it sits on a shelf. Nope. Right, so just to give a bird's eye view, zooming out a little bit, I would have mentioned that in our inaugural cohort, we graduated around 17. Currently, we have just over 122 mentors in our local chapter, but globally, FI covers in excess of 35,000 mentors and 5,000 investors globally. In our regional chapter, we're really excited that we have 15 local partners supporting our efforts. Globally, we've seen founders go on to raise over $2 billion through our FI venture network. And they have a global portfolio value of in excess of $30 billion, right? So the stats speak for themselves that the program works and we're producing remarkable startups. So today is going to be a really tight session. It's all about the founders. We will have a few inspirational, motivational talks from a few specially invited guests, some partners, investors. One of our alumni is here as well, Melissa. So really excited for them to share their stories with you. And of course, we're going to spotlight the founders. So 16 or 17 of you all are here on the call. You will all have an opportunity to share with us all a little about yourself, what you're doing, why you're here, and what you hope to achieve out of the program. We'll have a few minutes for any Q&A coming on to the end. And then lastly, we'll ask the founders to break out into rooms where they will select the leader of their working groups, quote unquote, the president of their working groups. So small team, but with a big impact. This is us, just 3 of us. So Adana, would you like to unmute and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, y'all hearing me?
Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Adana. I'm the communications manager here at FI Caribbean, and I'm so excited to meet all of you virtually. So I would be helping with the socials, the communications, if it is that you need to share any of your founder highlights, key moments, that's where I'll be. And if you need any assistance also with communications, I could step in there and help. And yeah, don't feel afraid to reach out. I'm excited to meet you all as the cohort goes on.
Wonderful. Thank you, Adana. Nike.
Hey, everybody. My name is Nike. A lot of you or all of you have already heard or read from me, so to speak, and it's exciting for me to put some faces to the names finally. I'm the program manager for this cohort, and like Adana said, we're here for you. We're here to support you. If there's anything coming up, if you have any questions, any challenges, anything, always feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you're building and to kick this off with you. Back to Raw.
Awesome. Thank you, Nikki. All right. So most of you should know who I am in the event that you don't. My name is Raul. Just like you, I'm also a founder at heart. I've been a founder for most of my professional life. My first significant milestone happened in 2018, where my then tourism tech startup was accepted into the United Nations World Tourism Organization Forum and recognized as a top startup. Later on in 2022, my then EdTech startup got accepted into Techstars. And since then, I fell in love with the other side of the fence, the community building, the ecosystem building, innovation building. I've since gone on to study venture capital. So I'm also a professional VC. And in addition to leading FI Caribbean, I'm also building my first fund with Jeffrey Foston, who's on the call today, and Donnie Bachan. I don't know if Donnie's on. And apart from that, I maintain my startup. So from where I sit, I relate to all of you because I am one of you, and I hope that makes me a better leader going forward. All right. So we have quite a few local regional partners. On the call joining us today is Charlie Kirkconnell from Cayman Enterprise City. You'll be hearing from him shortly. Neil Sumaru from Lavuka Venture Lab. You'll also be hearing from him shortly. Numerous VCs have partnered with us, including Loyal VC and Founder Capital. And in terms of our other local partners, quite a few regional entrepreneurship support organizations. And Adana will drop a link in the chat where you can access a plethora of partners globally where you can access benefits during the cohort and then additional benefits once you've graduated. Just a few of the mentors that you will have the pleasure of engaging over the next 10 weeks. Ayodel Moray is the lead legal counsel at Sovo. She's based in Barbados. Bogdan Stancio heads Startup IQ out of the US. Maria is on. So Maria, since you're on, would you like to unmute and just say hi?
Hello, everyone. I'm calling in from the south of France. Very excited to be joining the second cohort. The first one was fantastic, so I'm really excited to see what happens in the second one.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Bogdan, I'm not too sure if you're on or not. I know you were traveling, but if you are on, you can unmute. Okay, maybe he is not. And Jason, I know Jason is traveling as well. Jason is one of our seasoned mentors, and he's also a VC. He's based in the Cayman Islands. All right, so I will stop sharing for now, and I'd like to invite our first guest speaker to say a few words, Charlie O'Connell from Cayman Enterprise City. Let me just add you, spotlight. All right, Charlie, you got
Are you ready for me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Raul, for the introduction. I'm Charlie O'Connell, and I'm the CEO at Cayman Enterprise City. We are a knowledge and technology focused special economic zone based here in Cayman, and our mission is to attract knowledge and technology focused businesses to open an office here. Employ people locally, build their projects from the Cayman Islands. We also have a section or a subset of a company subsidiary of our company that is called Enterprise Cayman, which is it's a nonprofit organization focused on career development and entrepreneurship ecosystem development, and it is in connection with all of that that we are that's how we came into contact with FI, introduced by Jason Butcher, and here we are. So thanks for the opportunity to share some brief remarks. I'll start by saying a huge congratulations to Raul and the rest of the FI team on the commencement of your second cohort. We had a great experience as a program sponsor of the first one, and we're delighted to continue this great relationship. To the candidates, you're embarking on a comprehensive and challenging program, one that will prepare you very well for the journey to success that lies ahead. But one thing to keep in mind is that there's going to be some tough times along the way. We've had a few in the first cohort. We had a number of Cayman-based projects go through, and the feedback that I got was that it's a tremendous program, but it's a lot of hard work. You need to put in the work. You need to keep up week to week, or you'll lose a significant amount of the value that you would otherwise get through participating. So I encourage everyone to work hard, to persevere. And again, from experience and feedback from the projects that I know that went through the first cohort, you're going to be delighted with the results. So with that, I'll just say congratulations once again to the FI Caribbean team, and good luck to the candidates. I look forward to connecting with you again at the graduation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Much appreciated. Thank you. Neil, would you like to go next? Let me just spotlight you there. Neil, can you unmute so I can find you? Okay,
Absolutely. There we go.
Let me add you here. Awesome. Neil Sumaru from Lavuka Venture Lab, one of our esteemed partners as well. Neil, you got the floor, buddy.
Thanks, Raul. Well, thank you for inviting me to be here today, and obviously to everybody involved with Founder Institute Caribbean for putting this together. I'm the founder and chairman of Lavuka Venture Lab. My background is across finance, AI, venture building, and international business. And a lot of my work sits around emerging technologies, institutional systems, and infrastructure. We have a full team of both developers and advisory so that we can sort of look at projects more holistically. And I think that's important because I think when we think about the Founder Institute Caribbean and the initiative that Raul is putting together, during these major technological shifts, it creates an environment where countries and regions that maybe were previously off the radar can now have a equalized playing field. My family is originally from the South Pacific, from the Fiji Islands. So I've always had an appreciation for sort of smaller developing island nations and smaller economies and the realities that they face. And I think what I feel very strongly about is that the world still massively underestimates these regions. There's an outdated assumption that innovation comes from your typical global hubs like Silicon Valley and New York, London, Beijing, but somehow the future isn't necessarily going to get built from those hubs. I think actually the model is beginning to break, and I think historically smaller nations and regions that have developing economies and infrastructures felt disadvantaged because of their access to capital, talent, compute, and infrastructure. But I think AI especially is changing that in a very profound way. And so when Raul shared with me that, there's a stronger and more growing focus on AI as he begins to develop the programs in the region, I think that's really important because I think AI is helping us compress sort of the speed and capabilities at a scale that we haven't fully yet learned how to appreciate. So now very small teams in emerging regions can actually compete with massive organizations and huge technical departments without the burden of enormous capital resources. So what's interesting is smaller economies sometimes have a strategic advantage in these times of opportunity. And I think that smaller regions like the Caribbean and Latin America are probably going to be well served in developing the next sort of wave of talent and businesses that can shape the world. So, believing that AI is that great equalizer and a big shift in the way the modern economies are developing, I think it's incumbent on us to look at regions like the Caribbean and Latin America and, help ensure that founders in those regions understand that there are, lots of appetite for growth in supporting those regions. So thanks, Raul, for having us here. And of course, I think what you're building throughout the Caribbean and Latin America is going to be an important phase of the next chapter for the region. So excited to be part of it.
Thank you so very much, Neil. Truly, truly appreciate your support, man. Meliska, would you like to go next? Meliska is our rockstar founder from our inaugural cohort. At graduation, she was already doing 10K MRR. She's currently raising her pre-seed. And if I'm at liberty to share a little bit, I know that she's also in the process of working on a partnership with Neil and Lavuka Venture Lab. So really, really excited for Meliska. She has also already pitched to our emerging fund, Caribbean Ventures. You'll hear from Jeffrey next. So Meliska, I don't want to give away the whole pie. So if you could unmute so I can spotlight you, that'd be great. I can't find you. I need to find you.
Hello. Thank you so much, Rolly, for the last introduction. And I apologize, everyone. I think
I still don't see you. Hang on. Okay, I see you now.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, and I apologize, everyone, for my voice and my face. I got a very bad allergy today. So excuse me if I have my napkin here. So yeah, thank you for the introduction, and then happy to see you, Neil, Jeffrey. I've been talking, and I saw Bogdan and Maria Bota, that was part of my merchants as well. So I'm very happy to see everyone in here. It's gratifying to see, like, this just happened 6 months ago. 6 months ago, right? That I was part of the program, and I have a lot to take on. So what I'll do is I want to spend a little bit on my journey and then talk about a little bit how the impact that I've been able to have with participating of this program, right? So my background is engineering. I come from industrial engineering. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and then once I graduated, I moved to New York, live and work in a consulting firm called Accelerator for 10 years. And I was very happy, I focusing on AI strategy, working with Fortune 500 companies. I actually was, I was on my peak of my career, transitioning for leadership roles. But at that moment, I also grew up in an elderly care home for over 30 years that my mom has operated, and my sister is a gerontologist. So everything changed in my life when my grandma began experiencing Alzheimer's. Professionally, I was helping companies, but when I faced this with my family, caring for my grandma, that's really what hit me. And it was very challenging about the coordination, the emotional stress, and the daily support that my family was needed. And at that moment is when I decided to move back and basically create MK Care. And ever since it becomes a turning point of leaving the stability of a corporate career to dedicate myself in building something that I feel more close and have a purpose for it, right? So MK Care, it's a platform that helps families connect with trusted caregiver, help them through monitoring and care coordination through AI-powered guidance. And I joined Founder Institute last year. It seems that it went very quickly. And we were more, we won that our second iteration on the pilot phase. And we was there, even though we have the initial customer, we were still validating. And we, in this phase, it was, we joined to help us scale, to truly understand and truly pivot and launch our platform and then scale. And the F1s give us that structure. So the accountability, the mentorship, the community, people crazy enough to believe that they could build something from the Caribbean. I think one thing that I always get off before getting to F1 Institute, I went through other 2 programs as well. And I was very frustrated when I came to F1. And it's because I continue receiving the feedback, Caribbean, Puerto Rico doesn't have enough market. Why you don't move out of Puerto Rico? You should not have the solution there. I still receiving noise that it's not going to work. It's not enough, right? And at that point, I think we were doing like 2K. When we started the program, we were doing 2 to 3K MRR. But we always saw that, okay, it doesn't matter. Like there's market, there's all people. And the Caribbean is actually one of the, it's still a market where it's happening, and then the US and Latin American, it's a service that is needed. And we went through the program, and we, as Rosie, we're able to achieve 10K MRR. We support over 150, we reached over 150 caregivers and supported over 100 families. After graduation, last month, we were able to increase our revenue by 44%. And we actually were able to initiate our fundraising round, and we are almost 60% commit. And honestly, that was part, I don't think that's something that I think about, like, and thought it was possible before. But the ecosystem, and I think the mentorship, before the program, after the program, I remember talking with Bogdan, and I actually remember redoing, I had done my pitch like more than 40 times. So what my advice for everyone going to the program is to take this very seriously. I think there are a couple, you will see sprints and you will say, oh, I know this, skip it. What I say, don't skip it, just do it. Even though that it is simple, just do it. Because at the end of the day, the startup ecosystem is like that. It's that you be open to feedback, you have to retry, you have to adapt, and you have to iterate again. And for me, this program helped me do that. It didn't, even though that we thought, oh, we know the cost, we already have it, we already have some sales. But because it obligated us to do that, and I was able to, I actually speak with a group of customers probably like 3 weeks, reiterating, and that's actually what helped us to understand what are the areas of opportunity, what we're doing wrong, what we have to iterate. So that's my quick feedback is that just do it, everything is simple, just adapt it. And the second thing is you have a purpose, forget about the noise. You probably will speak, if you're raising funds or you're looking for partners, you're probably going to speak for 500 people, and maybe 2 will say yes and like your idea. So, and that's what you need. So for me, it's about forget about the noise, focus on your purpose, focus on your customer, focus on getting the market, and learn, get feedback, and iterate. So hopefully this impact most of the generations coming down. I'm happy to talk forever. I love to talk. I think I surpassed the 10 minutes, but anyone who's going through this journey, I'll be open. Just feel free to, I'll put my link in, so feel free to reach me out, and happy to establish conversation and whatever I can provide you to support you through this journey.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Melissa. And I think the beauty of building in a community is just this, right? I mean, we not only do we have the benefit of mentors and partners, but alumni who have walked the walk, they're talking the talk, and they have that real world hands-on experience that you could learn and benefit from. So, Melissa, I can't thank you enough for being here, especially since you're not feeling well. So truly appreciate you coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Our last speaker for the evening, before we segue into founder intros, is Jeffrey Foston. So Jeffrey Foston is a mentor. He's born and bred in Trinidad and Tobago, currently resides in the UK, managing partner of Jensen Ventures, and he's also the managing partner of Caribbean Ventures. So Jeffrey is going to be one of our investors in residence here at FI Caribbean, and everyone will have direct access to get his astute counsel as we progress through the cohort. So, Jeffrey, I can't big you up more than that.
Can you hear me okay?
Hearing you perfectly, man.
Okay,
Floor is
cool.
yours.
Yeah, so look, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this. Am I still there? Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this. I came in kind of midway through the last cohort, and I really was amazed at the quality of the cohort and how the program is run. Just to give you some background of me, like Roel said, I am from the Caribbean originally, and I live in the UK now, and I run a VC fund where I invest in startups at the exact same stage that you guys are at, and I've been doing that for about 12 plus years now, and we've done well over 150 deals, well over 30 million that we've deployed into the market. One of the things that Neil said really resonated with me, and it is the essence that Caribbean founders are super resilient. And I don't know, and I get the impression that you don't know that, how resilient you are. I invest primarily in the UK right now, and I see really strong similarities to people who are founders outside of London, because you have this whole concept of London as the center of everything in the UK. But founders outside London, there's no difference between a founder outside London and a founder in the Caribbean in terms of the access they have, the limited access or lack of access, but how resourceful they are. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I decided to set up Caribbean Ventures, and because there's incredible talent in the Caribbean. I don't think you know how talented you are relative to the world, and there's incredible opportunity to support you. The problem that I see in the region right now is that you don't have access to the funding at this stage, which is a critical stage, and that's one of the things that we're trying to kind of resolve with Caribbean Ventures. So Roald, Donnie, and I, we have joined forces to solve that problem. We don't want you having to go to Silicon Valley or go to the States to get yourself started. We want you to be able to figure something out, be clever, stay in the Caribbean, do it in the Caribbean, be successful in the Caribbean for the Caribbean. And that's where I come in, and that's what I'm hoping to help you with our new fund, which we're launching. Well, we've launched it, and we're currently fundraising, and we should start deploying hopefully very soon. And it is a real pleasure to kind of work with you guys. What I want to do is be able to help you long before you need funding, so that you understand what good looks like, and how to iterate. I've said it before in a few programs, few of these, that one of the biggest benefits I think you can have is to have an open mind, and be able to listen to what other people say, and really it's that balance between not doing what somebody else tells you to do, but listening to what other people say, ingest that information and make your own decision. But founders have to be strong-willed, they have to be determined, they have to kind of exclude the noise. But I think figuring out what the noise is a large part of what you're going to have to do. And that's the part where I feel as if I can help the most in terms of bringing value to you. So, I like Roel says, we're here to help. We're here to kind of listen to what you have to say. More than happy to have conversations with any of you at any point in time. And just to bounce ideas off of, get feedback from, whatever you like. We're here to help.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Really appreciate that. And I think Jeffrey brings a tremendously unique advantage to our cohort in that, he's a son of the soil. He understands our region. He understands our people, not just here in the Caribbean, but Latin America as well, right? I mean, when I refer to the region, I refer to Latin America and the Caribbean. And with the added bonus of having that international expertise and experience, so he can help us maneuver those muddy waters a bit better. And so Jeff, thanks a lot for being here. Really appreciate your time, bud. All right. So we're at that time of the evening. Let me do a quick share screen again, just to prep the founders, although they should already be prepped. So founders, if you're on top of your current sprint, which is your kickstart sprint, activity number 4 is around, hang on, I'm on the wrong slide. Right. Activity number 4 is around just composing a brief 60-second introduction of yourself, covering a few salient points. So Nikki, would you like to guide this section? I could leave that up to you in terms of if you'd like to do it alphabetically. We should have maybe 15 to 17 founders on the call this evening. So if everyone takes a minute, that will take us through the top of the hour. And then at the top of the hour, we'll segue into any Q&A, open up the floor to any questions that you may have in terms of the next 10 weeks. And then once that's finished, we'll end by breaking out into our working groups where you will elect who will be your president of your particular working group. So yeah, Nikki,
Yes.
I'll stop sharing here now, and then we can highlight founders as we
go. Okay, let me see if I can do it perfectly alphabetically. I cannot promise that.
No. You don't have to. That was a suggestion.
Let me see who's here. We have. I hope if I butcher anyone's name, please correct me. I see Ali Amail as my first. Amil.
Let me see if I find him so I can spotlight him. Okay. All right, I see him. Amil, let me add you here. All right.
Welcome.
You got the floor, Emil.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
All right, perfect.
Right.
So let me kick it off here. It may not be as polished as it should be, but my name is Emil. I'm a full stack marketer by profession. I've been in the field for about 10 years. I've been working with startups, from startups to 8-figure businesses across the world. I specialize in advertising and AI. I currently operate 2 agencies, one focused on the Caribbean and one worldwide. I enrolled in the Founders Institute because I wanted to get the experience of building a startup, going through I guess what I would call the proper way to do it then, with support and all of that. I've built, startups and businesses in the past by myself and just kind of figured it out. I came across the Founder Institute, and the network, the support, the approach, everything just resonated well with me. And I guess, I'm really excited to dive in and learn all there is about the ecosystem. I've been to, the Caribbean Dragons events and that kind of thing, so I'm really excited to see what you do here, all. And then what I'm building, to put it briefly, I'm building I guess it's an EdTech platform to connect, on the front end, connect businesses with top tier talents. But the value prop on the back end would be to raise the bar of freelancing and contracting work in the Caribbean and unlock the global market for Caribbean freelancers. I got really lucky early on in my career to work for an international company, and that's changed my life. It's changed my career. It's changed my my level. It leveled me up tons. And the journey was very difficult, from finding out how to get paid to knowing how to speak, being confident, just simple things like that. I had to figure it out. And we have such amazing talent in the Caribbean. So I think there's a big opportunity. So yeah, that's what I'm building.
Awesome. Thank you, Emil. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Next, Andre Thomas. I
Andre,
think I saw you earlier on the list.
let me see if I find them so I could spotlight them. Andre, can you unmute and say hey so I can find you quicker? Andre. Andre, are you there? I'm seeing you here, but I'm not too sure if this is your note taker or if you're actually on.
Sorry, but he mentioned on the show that he's not able to talk right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So we move on.
Move on. Who do we have next? Who is here? Let's go with Inga.
Inga, I gotcha. A spotlight.
You see me?
I see you now. Let me just spotlight you. Awesome.
Hi.
Welcome back, Inga.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Inga Masjul, and I'm a CEO and founder of One Retain. I started with the last cohort, but because of all of the pressures of running a business, I wasn't able to complete it. So I'm very excited to be back. I guess a second time round in school. What do you call those students, who didn't pass the first one? So you got to redo the year again. So I'm looking forward to this. I have another idea that I'd love to talk about. Still the idea stage, still in the business of professional services. I have a legal background. I've been in legal law firms for the last 25 years, most recently as a chief talent officer of the two largest law firms in the US and Canada. I started the startup life 3.5 years ago, and I'm super excited about it, but it's also very, very, very hard. So I appreciate everyone's feedback and comments, and I'm looking forward to being part of this new cohort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Inga.
Awesome.
Great to have you back. Persistence. So you're back. So that's the important thing.
Repeating a year.
Resilience. Most important trait of an entrepreneur.
Who's up next, Nikki?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, can you unmute so I can? I see you.
Hello.
I see you. Let me spotlight you. All right, Emmanuel, you got the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Moradias. As Nikki said, I'm a Dominican data science student at Open University in the UK. I'm doing the degree online from my country. I enrolled in Founders Institute because I'm actually a first generation tech entrepreneur in my family. Like no one in here has even tried to build something technological before. And obviously, and here I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find the structure methodology and the mentor network that you guys offer to help me turn some sort of like technical skills into commercial traction, which will be great. I grew up watching small tourist experience provider all the way from Boca Chica to Punta Cana, pretty much lose significant amount of revenue due to hotel concierge and online travel agency, with no digital presence and no customer data. And basically that's where the company I'm trying to build comes in, which is Turpin. I think the quick resume version to describe this is a demand intelligence layer that captures group travel into sort of like collaborative itinerary planning before basically before the tourist opens the website and tries to go to booking.com. to surface that live demand to local providers and bookable inventory. I combine the sort of technical stack that I learned in my degree with the sort of background level tourism insight that I observed growing up in the Caribbean's #1 destination, pretty much.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. And I hope that by the end of the cohort, my Spanish is as good as your English, because I'm super impressed by your proficiency level. So
Yeah,
you're
thank you.
crushing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was 8 years in the UK, so.
Right. Great. Thank you, man. Nikkei, who do we have next?
Next up, let's go with Giselle.
Sorry, I didn't catch that name.
Giselle.
Giselle. Giselle, are you here? Yes, I see Giselle. Let me add you. Giselle and I had a wonderful little brief chat on Instagram today. You know, so many different ways of reaching out to people. Love it, love it, love it. Welcome, Giselle. Welcome. Floor is yours.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm gonna jump straight in. So too many sweeteners are overly processed, unhealthy, and disconnected from sustainable local food systems. I'm Giselle Singh Batiste, a creative entrepreneur and neo soul artist based in Trinidad and Tobago, with a background in fundraising, sustainable innovation, branding, and youth development across the Caribbean. I joined the Founder Institute Caribbean because I want to become a stronger founder, build a scalable venture with global potential, and learn from mentors and investors who have successfully built impactful companies. Right now, I'm exploring a climate-smart food innovation that transforms the underused Caribbean sapodilla fruit into a rich, natural sweetening ingredient with the warmth of brown sugar, and I'm on a mission to make sapodilla the next trendy, sexy, and sustainable sugar alternative. Thank you.
Trendy and sexy. Damn,
Yes.
Giselle. Giselle, so Isabel is on the call as well. You both definitely need to connect. Isabel, Giselle is someone in the creative space. She's a musician. So you both definitely need to collaborate at some point. Thank you,
Yes.
Giselle.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next, Nikkei? Who's next?
Let's go with Isabel then.
All
Let's
right,
hear it.
Isabel, let me spotlight you. I got you here.
Hi.
Hi, Isabel. So
Welcome.
let me first share a quick story. So I just came back from Caracas for Venezuela Tech Week, and Isabel is one of those rock star founders crushing it in Caracas. She spent several years in LA. She's now back home. The country is on an upward trajectory. Given the political landscape, things are opening up. And Isabel is doing some great stuff in the creative space. I won't share too much. So she and I had a few productive chats, and I was able to sort of guide and coach a little bit. And she's here, so I'm so happy that she's here. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Well, my name is Isabel Garcia, and I'm an artist. I'm a guitar player. I'm a math rock guitar player, and I'm a music educator. My background goes from acting to music performance to content creation to bilingual education. And I also have an audience in my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok channel. I teach guitar and music theory through them. And I joined the Founders Institute because every musician I know, including myself, eventually hits a wall between like that gap of like how I sound, the sound that I have in my head, and the musician I want to become. So I'm building this musical co-pilot that basically analyzes your musical DNA, your unique style, and compares it to the artist you're inspired by, right? So it will bridge that gap of where you're at and where you want to be as a musician. And like any other musical AI tool like Suno, this app doesn't create music for you, it creates music with you. So you as an artist, you're involved in the process because the creative process is about the process.
I love that. Thank you, Isabel. Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, I'm excited because we don't have too many founders coming out of the orange economy. So I'm really happy that both you and Giselle are participating in this cohort. Excited to light a fire under the orange economy and get more creatives funded. So thank you, Isabel. All right, Nikkei, do we have next?
Let's go, Kevin. Kevin, are you
Kevin.
here?
Kevin, can you unmute so I can find you?
Hi, good night.
All right, I see you, Kevin. Hang on, let me add you to the spotlight. Awesome. So Kevin and I had a really nice quick chat this morning as well. So and he's one of
Yes.
those who's taken his craft seriously. He just graduated out of one of our boot camps and decided that now's the time to put some metal to the pedal or pedal to the metal, whatever that saying is. So Kevin, good to have you, man. Take the floor. You got the floor.
Hi, you all hearing me? Everyone is hearing me? All right, wonderful. Good
Yes.
night. Buenos dias to Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters. It's indeed a pleasure to see you guys today. Well, my name is Kevin Raphael. I'm based in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, and I have been in the educational field in training and development, consultancy, and a variety of different facets of education, right? So I've spent most of my life going to school. I'm a lifelong learner, all right? So essentially, I joined Founders Institute to develop myself, to try to find a way of getting information clearly for the next generation. Essentially, what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a app to allow students to be able to connect to the future skills that is available in the rest of the world. So essentially, what I want to do is build a platform so students could get real life skills and experiences. All right. It's all about artificial intelligence, developing skills, technical skills. So what I want to do is create something in the Caribbean for the young people in the Caribbean to be able to be first class experiences and develop themselves essentially.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate you sharing and being here. Great
Thank
stuff.
you.
All right. Nikkei, who do we have
All
up next?
right, who do we have? Let's go with Stacy.
Stacy. Okay, Stacy, I see you. Let me add the spotlight.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
You got the floor. Take it over.
Okay, so my name is Stacy Hastic. I'm originally from Grenada, but for the last like 5 years, I've been based in Barbados, and currently I'm in the UK, so it's quite late here. But I'm a labor management professional. I've spent quite a lot of time dealing with labor relations, paying attention to the world of work and how employers and employees and persons within the Caribbean region relate to all of this. And in my work, I've seen a lot of issues come up with compliance and issues with employees not being able to understand what their rights are, and it's very expensive, essentially. And so I have my consultancy, Carry Labor, and through Carry Labor, I'm creating an ecosystem essentially that is centered around the world of work. And I'm developing and essentially at the end stages of developing Code Cracker, which is a platform that is going to be used to educate persons on labor laws across the CARICOM region. And I've been building it out in phases and starting with Grenada. So it's essentially an interactive flashcard game that would help persons to learn about labor legislations. It is targeting persons like HR professionals, employees, trade unionists, and so forth. And it is essentially a gamified platform that will help persons learn about their rights as it relates to the world of work. And additionally, I've also developed High Code, which is a platform that is used to connect vibe coders with persons who want to build AI applications. And what I've done, I've built out the entire platform, and I think at this point I just need real concrete direction on growth. And that's why I joined the Founders Institute, because I think that a lot of times in the Caribbean region, we build businesses and we consider them successful. But sometimes if we had like guidance and more mentorship, we'll be able to rival international organizations. And I think at this point in time, the Founder Institute represents that institution that has been missing in the startup ecosystem. So I'm happy to be a part of this, and I'm looking forward to learning quite a lot. I know that there is a lot of ideas in the Caribbean region, and I definitely want to be a part of the success story. And thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Stacy. One of the mentors that you have to connect with, and she's on the call tonight, is Melissa Lizama. She's an attorney and an expert in HR, so you guys need to have a chat. ASAP. Let's get to work right away. We're not sticking at all. Thank you, Stacy. All right. Nikkei, who's up
Who
next?
do we have? Who is here? Romario.
Romario. Can you unmute? Oh, I found you. I got you, buddy. Let me add you here. Hey, Romario, good to see you again, man.
Hey, what's up, bro?
I'm all right. You got the floor, buddy.
All right, so hi everyone, I'm Dr. Maura Thomas. I'm a dermatologist, cosmetic surgeon, and a HealthTech founder based in Kingston, Jamaica. My background combines clinical and impact dermatology, aesthetics, healthcare innovation, and now startup development. I had additional training, innovation, and entrepreneurship through Harvard Business School programs. So I used that training to launch my company, Absolute Skin. I joined Founder Institute to strengthen Absolute Skin's strategy, to develop a mentorship network, and to develop investor readiness as we scale towards a globally recognized digital platform. So what we really are is I'm building Absolute Skin, which is an AI-powered digital dermatology ecosystem focused on helping general practitioners, primary care specialists, and healthcare businesses to expand their access to dermatological care through enterprise and technology, teledermatology, skin analysis and skin disease detection, skincare education, and e-commerce. So basically, we have an ecosystem that is front-facing to the user who can do skin analysis, get specific and personalized skincare routines with skin concern detection, but we're also putting impact dermatology to give primary care providers, and especially underserved areas like the Caribbean, access to grade A dermatology care. So that's what we're doing with Absolute Skin. And I really just want, as I mentioned, to hone in on the areas we're supposed to focus on, to build a team, which has been the hardest thing to do here alone in the Caribbean, to get access to funding, and to just be put in the right place and to become a well-oiled machine as we go forth into the rest of the Caribbean and the world. So yeah, that's us.
Romario, I'm already blown away, as I'm sure most of us are. So couldn't be prouder and happier that you're part of the community now, and we're certainly going to be here to support you on your journey. Impressive bio, by the way, right? To say the least. Good stuff. Thank you, Romario. All right. Nikkei, who's up next?
Davia.
Davia, welcome back, Davia. Let me find her. You're on mute, Davia.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Happy to have you back. I mean, I follow all your WhatsApp stories, so I feel as if we never lost touch. But it's great to have you back in the cohort. The floor is yours.
So yes, sir. Happy to be here. So I'm David from Jamaica. I am a psychology trained educator, UNESCO youth leader, and World Digital Detox Day ambassador. Through my work in education and youth development, I noticed a major problem. Talented people and teams are struggling with overload, poor decisions, and lack of clarity. That's why I joined Founder Institute. So I'm building AI-assisted decision clarity system designed to help individuals and groups make smarter, healthier, and more aligned decisions at scale. And I'm excited to learn from this network and build technology that improves performance and well-being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Davia. So this time around, we're going to get you off and running. All right. So happy to have you back. All right, Nike, who do we have next?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie with Parkade. Mackenzie, are you here?
Yeah.
Let me find you. I don't see him. Mackenzie, are you on?
Ooh,
Okay, I
must have
don't
dropped
find.
off.
Yeah.
See this
Yeah, I
here.
saw him
Yeah.
on early on. Okay, we can jump to someone
Yeah.
else.
Maybe later. Jean or Rosario.
Jean Rosario. I
Rosario.
got you.
Hi, I am here, but sorry, my camera just broken, so you may not see me today.
No worries. Okay,
No
I
worries.
can't spotlight you then. I'm looking for you still.
Should I keep talking so that you
Yes,
can
yes,
see
yeah,
me?
please. Sorry,
Okay,
Jean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
I'll go on mute. The floor is yours, buddy.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Jean Rosario. I'm based on Dominican Republic. I'm a backend software engineer with over 8 years of experience. I have been working with companies in the US and Europe. My focus is distributed systems and event-driven architectures. The reason I enrolled the Founder Institute is because I've spent my career building other people's projects. Right now, I want to know how to build my own, how to learn about the business and how to create a company, talk to customers, getting the price, and getting ready for the speech. Right now, I'm working on a B2B SaaS project for fleet logistic and vehicles tracking. I'm starting in the Dominican market where I already have 3 committed prospects, and I'm building it to scale globally after the program. Thank you all for having me here, and let's rock this together.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jean. You should connect with Neil Sumaru. I don't know if Neil is still on the call from Lavuka Venture Lab. Neil already has an MVP for some logistics software, so there might be some synergy there. So just take note of that to connect with Neil.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right,
All
Nike.
right.
Who do
We
have?
have France.
France
France.
one. France, can you let me find you. France, you need to put on your camera so I can spotlight you, buddy. France, are you there? Because you're on mute as well, so I can't hear you. Okay. France. Okay, let's jump, Nikki. Who's next?
Unable to speak. Maybe. No, I think that's all I have on my list. If there's anybody who would like to introduce themselves and have not called out, please speak.
Yeah.
But I think that should be everybody.
Going once, going twice. Any founders that we've missed, please unmute. Now's your time to shine. All right.
Yeah, I think that should be everyone.
Okay, cool. So we're at the top of the hour. I'm going to open up the floor to Q&A from the founders. So founders, feel free to unmute, put your camera on, ask any questions, either for us as the leadership team or to mentors who are on the call. In the absence of questions, we can also utilize some of this time for those mentors who are on the call, like Michael, to probably say a few words. So let's perhaps do that and give founders time to germinate some of those questions. Mike, let me just spotlight you here, Mike. I'm putting you on the spot, but I know you're a brilliant guy.
There's a question.
Wait, why is this remove? Oh, there's a question?
Yeah.
Right, Emil, sorry, yeah, you could just unmute and ask, Emil.
Yeah, I know this is just the second cohort, and you mentioned a little bit about it in the beginning. But I'm curious to know, what would you say are like the top 3 traits you see in the most successful people that go through the program?
Really good question. If Jeffrey is still on the call, I would like to sort of pivot that question to more of what do investors look for in terms of characteristics from promising founders. Jeff?
I'm here.
Okay, awesome.
Am I understanding the question is in what do investors look for in founders?
I'm suggesting that we sort of pivot the question instead of focusing on the characteristics to get through the cohort. I think the more important and Emil, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I think what you're trying to get to is what will make you a successful founder and launching, raising, etc. Am I understanding your question correct? Right.
Yeah, I actually like your revision to the question more. So let's go.
All right, cool. Yeah. So Jeff? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I guess what makes a successful founder is well, there's a few things, but if you look at the journey of a successful company, and I assume by successful founder you mean that you have a successful business, there's a few kind of stages that the company goes through. If right now you have an idea, and you're at the stage where you have an idea, is understanding that, and I think this is the large part of what Founder Institute is trying to do is to put you through those phases. So going through those phases successfully means that you are incrementally checking whether this idea that you have can actually turn out to something. And at each stage, you have to keep asking that question: will this work? Will this work? So that's the first thing I think that's the first way you should approach it, and not skip any stages. To be successful, you have to go through all of those phases, and I'll try and identify what they are from an investor's perspective in a minute. But you have to go through all those phases and iterate as you go based on the feedback of those stages, so that when you come out at the end, all the aspects of what those stages want to see have been checked, verified, and fixed. So think of it from that perspective to start with. And then when we think about the stages that you want to go through from an investor's perspective, you want to look, what an investor wants to know, what is the problem you're solving? That's the first thing we want to understand, because we want to know whether or not it's a big enough problem for us to get involved in. There are problems that you solve that will make you good money as a business, that will afford you a great lifestyle, and will not scale in a way that makes it attractive to founders. And one of the first things to understand is that investors want to come in to an opportunity that has a certain level of scalability, which can be different from what your idea will present or offer.
Just to that point, just to clarify for everyone
Yeah.
on the call, when you say investors, you're referring specifically to the VC asset class, right? So it's
Sorry,
not.
yes, correct.
Right.
I'm referring to the VC asset class because the VC asset class is the asset class that takes early stage ideas and backs those ideas to become kind of stable businesses. Once those businesses are sufficiently stable, then you have a different asset class, which is the private equity asset class, which kind of takes that and pushes that much, much further. and makes it much bigger. But that whole proving out of, yes, this is a great idea, yes, this works. That's kind of where we are at the VC stage. Is we take a very high level of risk. We have an appetite for a lot of companies not being successful, which is very different to a private equity phase, which is the complete opposite, which they take very little risk because everything should work. And it's just about making that incremental increase in value on these businesses as an asset class at VC, which is what we do. I think is as close to gambling as you can get, really. So just coming back to the question, one of the things that to be successful, you have to figure out if that idea actually works and what version of that idea will work. And that's a big thing because no matter where you start from an idea, 99% of the time, what actually becomes successful is not that idea. It's a variant of that has been formed through pushing it into the market. The market will tell you what it wants. All you can do is guess, or you have a strong suspicion or strong feeling about what the market wants, but the market will tell you what it wants. And the biggest thing you need to do in terms of being successful is you have to listen to the market. You have to listen to the market, and the quickest to respond. So I've been doing this for 13 years now. I've got 165 companies we've invested in. And the guys that have won, we've had 12 successful exits. We've had, double-digit exits. In terms of we've been more than 10 times our money back that we've put in. The guys that listen to the market and respond the quickest are the ones who win. And you have to be really careful not to just react and just kind of move in every single direction the market says. But it's that balance between having a conviction of what you're doing, but also listening to the market. So the first element to answer the question is to have that ability to try to understand that variance between your idea and what the market wants and close that gap really quickly. Building out the business model and the exit strategy and all that sort of stuff around that comes after you kind of sense check that. So to be successful from an investor's perspective, or to be successful through this process, you want to come out of the cohort, you want to end this cohort with a really clear understanding of what the problem you're solving is. A lot of people, and there are a few tech founders on this call, a lot of people will be really focused on building a product or building a thing, but you're building that thing to solve somebody's pain. And it's way more important to understand their pain than to be hard fast on the thing you're building. And you're going to have to figure that out really quickly. There are people on this call, and again, there are people on this call that are more salesy people. They know how to sell, they know how to speak. Some of them are from consultancy backgrounds. They're the ones who will probably understand how to deliver on a pain point, but then their problem is going to be how to build it out properly. So you've got that sort of dichotomy of some people will have some aspects of it and other people will have other aspects of it kind of locked down, and you have to figure out the gaps that you're missing, and everybody's gaps will be different, but it's about trying to figure out really quickly which aspect of that set you're missing and build up on that. One of the things that we do in our fund in the UK is we back teams because that's the best way to cover all the bases. Think about, and I would also think about how you get support on the management side, on the founder side, how you kind of find someone that you can really bounce your ideas off of. It's not so important in this phase in terms of where you are right now at Founder Institute, but once you go beyond that, because most founders can do this phase on their own if you're not part of a team. But what you need to do after you leave this cohort and you successfully got investments is you have to figure out how do you scale your team, because it then becomes not just building a product, but actually building a business. For now, I think it's sufficient to focus on trying to understand how your concept, how your idea can actually land in the real world, and that will make you successful. I think if you can get from that to that as quickly as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jeff. Nikki, Adana, are there any other questions in the chat? If not, founders, can you just raise your hand using the feature so I can...
Yeah, Rob, we do have a question in the chat from Andre.
Okay, Andre, can you unmute or come on camera? I'm happy to
Well,
spotlight.
I'm not sure if he can speak because he said he's in the defense force. So I think right now he can't speak. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want to read out the question then, Adana?
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently a serving member of the Jamaica Defense Force and planning to transition full-time into my company, Aspire Solutions, in brackets your chat, within the next 6 to 12 months. As a solo founder with a working product, some grant funding, and strong early validation, what would you recommend as the smartest way to make this transition? That's his first question. The second question is specifically, I'd love advice on what key milestones should I hit before making the jump? How do other solo founders in similar structured careers, like military, government, etc., have managed this successfully? I know that was a mouthful. Do you need me to repeat
Okay,
anything?
so what I'd like to do is, in as much as we have quite a few mentors on the call, Adana, if you can repeat the first question, and then mentors, if you could use the raise hand feature if you'd like to answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, the first question, as a solo founder with a working product, some grant funding, and strong early validation, what would you recommend as the smartest way to make this transition? So he's trying to transition full-time into his company from being in the defense force.
Okay. Any mentors, you could just raise your hand and I'll spotlight you to give some feedback.
Sorry, I don't know where the hand raising bit is.
Okay. Jeff, is you?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I didn't know where the hand. I can't find your hand.
All right. Okay. All right.
Sorry. I really love the fact that you use the word milestones. I think that's super, super important to understand. It's the same thing I just said about phases. You're going to have to believe in this thing at some point in time and take a risk. That's what founders do. There's no safe transition from the comfort of a job to the insanely the insanely dangerous nature of founders. When you talk about validating, validation, I don't know what you mean by validation, but the only validation for me is sales. If somebody's willing to part with their cash to buy your solution, that's the only validation you need to get. And you need to get that in a sufficient way, not massive amounts of money, but in a sufficient way that you know for sure these people are buying it to solve this problem. So it's not your mates, it's not your friends, it's not it's not somebody. It has to be at arm's length. There has to be people, no one doing a favor to buy this thing from you. They really need this, and they're more than happy to pass you the cash because they can see the value of it. When you have that repeatedly, and not massively repeatedly, but completely different sources, when you have that validation, then you need to decide whether you're a real founder or not, and you want to make that jump. Not everybody will want to make that jump, but you're going to have to do it. There's no hiding from that, I think. Validation is key. One of the things about validation, there's nothing that beats revenue, but you need to understand the importance of metrics, and every company and every solution's metric is different, but why are people actually, what is the one metric that demonstrates that they are getting value from this thing? You have to figure out what that is, track it, and convince yourself that that is a good number, outcome, output, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you need to have that before you can make that jump. But I like the fact that you're thinking of it in milestones, because it is a series of stepping stones, jumps, stage gates, whatever you want to call it, and each jump is a completely different setup. You need to, you have a whole bunch of different things before you decide to make the next jump. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Michael, is that Johanna?
Physical,
Yeah.
physical hand raise.
All right, physical hand raise. Yeah, let me add you here.
I couldn't find the button either. So two things. First, I'll start by acknowledging the question, the transition, and adding only on to the valuable insights Jeffrey provided, in that surely you want to have as much confidence and validation for your idea, which it sounds like you're already getting traction, particularly in the form of grants, if not also sales, like Jeffrey said. Coming from the world of grants, and I can elaborate on my background as to why I think so much about this, but you have some kind of validation from some third party that isn't a person buying your product, that they're endorsing it. So if this is a local, federal, international grant, it's someone saying that your idea and what you're working on is answering a need that society is literally calling and offering financing for, or funds to support you in evolving your mission further. You tell me if that first grant was enough to get yourself settled and or fund whatever was lacking in your company, because it's likely that in your written narrative you said, to address the need that you're calling for, I need some kind of resource. And you bridge that gap, which I want to commend you on, because it doesn't always work out that way. Many people put out grants. I write grants all the time, and they don't all get funded. But if you did find some success there, I think that's a key indicator that you can take at least one more step in terms of making yourself independent and totally dedicated to your mission. So I have praise for that. I want you to know that that's important. I want to also commend, since this is my opportunity to talk, the leadership here in FI Caribbean. I want to commend you founders on dedicating yourselves and building yourselves up to what could be the end all be all, or it's just the next iteration in your success story to where your dreams manifest themselves. So congratulations to everyone being here. I'm Dr. Michael Stablin. I am born and raised in Chicago. I did my PhD at the University of Illinois in engineering. I comment on all that because when I was in academia and I was doing consulting, I transitioned over to the world to consult for tech startups, multinationals, SMEs, minority businesses, and nonprofits, where we had to align their strategic objectives with funding agency needs. So we write a lot of grants. The reason I'm here today is because after doing grants for so many years, funding my own education and propping up my own business, I got involved and recently graduated from a Venture Institute program, which is a sister organization. Now, I'm very interested to support other founders and like-minded professionals in their own journeys. And I think it makes sense that combining non-dilutive funding coming from grants, be it say local city of Chicago, Cook County, or anywhere across the country, as well as international grants, given my affiliations to Latin America, we can make this happen through that non-dilutive funding or venture funding. So I think everyone's path is different. I think it depends largely on where you come from. It definitely is influenced by where you're trying to go and at what rate and what your idea is doing to serve the needs of our planet in so many ways. So I'm excited to talk more. I don't want to take too much oxygen here. I want to commend everyone again on their success with my final breath. And I hope that we get a chance to work together over the course of this cohort. Thank you so much.
Michael, truly an honor and a pleasure to have you in the community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Adana, would you like to just touch on the second question? And if we don't have any more questions, we'll transition to the working groups.
Well, I think Jeffrey and Michael answered the second question, which was like, how do other solo founders in his same position, how have they managed this successfully? So I think they.
All right. Are there any other questions in the chat?
No, not at this time.
No.
Okay, founders, if you have any other questions, please unmute. Now is your time to do that. If not, I think we could go maybe to like the next 6 minutes. I'd like to spotlight a few of the mentors who are on the call, and then we could use the remaining time, which is really a founder exercise. So the rest of us can drop off at 7:30 p.m. AST, and then the founders have an internal exercise to do. Maria, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Maria Bota. I have been working with startups, principally in technology, as a fractional chief marketing officer now for about 15 years. I have worked globally, have an MBA in global management. And before that, my first career was in film and television and entertainment. I was a producer and an executive producer until I went back to graduate school in 2011. So I have a very varied experience, as you can tell. A little bit in the entertainment business and a lot in the startup ecosystem. It's my passion to work with founders, and that's why I'm always excited to come on and get going with the new cohort, especially the Caribbean cohort, which is so near and dear to my heart. I grew up in the region and my family's from Cuba. So to me, it's very personal and I want to see people and regions thrive. So I'm very excited to be here again. The first cohort was a blast. So I'm excited to be here for the second.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maria. Melissa, would you like to say a few words? Let me spotlight you. Let me spotlight
Are you seeing me?
Yes. Hey, Melissa.
Hi. Hi, everyone. So lovely to meet all of y'all this evening. I am so impressed with the fact that you've brought yourselves forward, that you've signed up for this program, and that you're so open to learning, not just how to take your idea, to broaden your idea, to broaden your startup, to broaden what you've already created, but to also scale it and take it to the world. I am very excited to be a mentor for this cohort. This is my first time mentoring for the FI Caribbean cohort. So I'm based in Trinidad, so of course I'm very pro Trinidad and Tobago, very pro Caribbean. We have so much talent here, and I cannot wait to see all your ideas and all your plans expand and grow beyond the boundaries of this region. So, if you want to chat with me about anything, as Raul already mentioned, I do specialize in HR and employment law. I know the focus is very much on having AI native startups, but as I tell many people, you still can't avoid people. So there is always going to be some element of if you want to call it people management, definitely compliance and that understanding. And of course, feel free to set up office hours with me if you want to have a chat about that. But looking forward to the other sessions. And that's it.
That's a good point that you raised there, Melissa, and I just want to double click on it. Next week, Thursday, we're hosting a webinar around AI governance and cybersecurity. Neil Sumaru from Lavuka Venture Lab is going to touch on the AI governance component, but Melissa is also on the panel next week to weave that HR component into the conversation, because as she mentioned, even though we're building AI native startups, we can't do it without people. We are going to hire many agents, but we still need to hire people. So I appreciate you highlighting that, Melissa. Thank you. Milian, would you like to say a few words? I can spotlight you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me bring you on. Hey, Milian.
Hi. Yeah. First of all, honored to be part of this. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm Milian. I'm from Germany. For over 3 years, part of the FI ecosystem. Started with Germany and yeah, quite powerful because I really loved it. Started with sales, with marketing, support with go-to-market. But now I switched to fully committed to venture capital. My peer, Michael, nice to see you here. We finished this very tough program from the Bay Area. It's the VC lab on the other side, you know, and now started via our mother. This is the Desai Group, directly in the deal team. So I can support on fundraising for sure, but also tips and tricks. My fully focus and my heart is on pitching. I really love pitch decks and how we can improve everything. Also, that there is a trick, the investor trick, and yeah, this is my field for the moment for sure. I'm also there for sales and go to market. I did it in my corporate life, so I went through the whole industry, the whole German industry up to senior management. Decided now to quit my job, do my own business, fully committed to venture capital, where my heart is, and yeah, looking forward to all the motivated founders here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Million. And I know it's pretty late in Germany, so I appreciate you staying up late. Hope you have some coffee nearby to keep you awake. Thank you so much, Million. I appreciate you. Gabriella, I see you're still on. Would you like to say a few words, Gabriella?
Raul and founders, so great to be here and so great to be joined by some new mentors like Melissa, who I think is going to add so much value to the new AI ventures coming out of Caribbean. So I'm Gabriela. I am one of the partners of FI Caribbean with Lunamaps. We're a boutique firm, and we're really here for you to support you as this Caribbean ecosystem grows and tenders into really scalable ventures. And some things I would love to share with you all in your FI Caribbean journey is think about also a global mindset, honor the local IP you're building and the local teams you're designing, but that scalability that Jeffrey so much talked about and that scalability comes from also learning from what other startup nations and what other business models have taken off in your specific vertical. So we are absolutely here for you to be able to share what those hubs look like, what those business models are, and enjoy the journey. I think you're in a very special program that has been based off a remarkable bespoke formula in Silicon Valley, and you have an amazing team, Raul, Nike, and Adana, and everyone is really here for each other. So do the sprints, but enjoy the journey. And even if you integrate AI in your processes and workflows, don't forget the human element. Have balcony moments with your teams because it's also all about the human loop as you extend value. So looking forward, and thank you so much for inviting us, Raul.
Thank you, Gabriella. Appreciate those kind and thoughtful words as always. Jonathan, I see you're on the call still. Would you like to say a few words to the founders before we transition? Oops.
Can you all hear me?
Loud and clear, Jonathan.
Great.
Would you like to share a few words with the community?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Dr. Jonathan Ash, and have had the opportunity, or grateful for the opportunity, honored for the opportunity to be in this community and serve as a mentor. A little bit about my background, similar to Michael, been able to serve in federal consulting with different federal public health agencies such as the CDC, FDA, and the NIH. And with that experience in the federal consulting space, bringing that to healthcare founders in particular, with helping them secure either government contracts or clinical contracts as well, and being able to push forward health innovation, not only here within the US, but also in the Caribbean region as well. So looking forward to the opportunity to be in this community and learn from one another and serve as well.
Jonathan, thank you so very much. I appreciate you, man. And I know we have a few health techs in this cohort, so excited to have you on board. All right. Did I miss any mentors who are on the call that would like to share a few words?
Hi.
Hi, Nita. Yeah.
Hi.
Let me spotlight you. Just give me a second.
Yeah, sure.
One second. I lost you, Nita. Where did you go? Hang on.
I don't know.
Okay, I see you now. I see you. I got you.
Hey.
All right. Nita, thank you for joining us. So
Of
nice to see
course.
you again.
Good to see you. Oh, so my apologies for coming on late. We have a big storm here. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. And there was this crazy storm and we had a power outage. And so I literally just got power back. And so wonderful to meet everybody. I was trying to read as many profiles. I made a little note in the message chat, but I am Nita Penn. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a mentor for the Founders Institute. I had started with cohort 1, but I had just wrapped up Raw Knows. I was head down and finishing up my international business MBA. So I am officially done. May 5th, Raw finished. So thank you. It's a lot. I am an international business MBA from Georgia State University, and my focus was on also disruptive entrepreneurship and innovation and global sustainable transportation management through the Toulouse Business School in France. But my background is most of my focus from a mentorship standpoint would be in venture development. So essentially, I think I came in when, is it Million? Am I saying your name correctly? The gentleman from Germany?
Million. Yeah.
Okay. And he mentioned he's really big in the venture capital space. And so I'm the person where I would make, if he's griping about like, hey, I want to invest in this founder, but their unit economics is not in place, their operational excellence is lacking, he would send you to me so I can get you right together, because he wants to make sure that it is a sound and a really good investment. And so venture development, global operations, and strategy. And I lead with, there's a gentleman, the young woman, Gabrielle, that just spoke about how leading with that human connection is very important. So I lead with human intelligence first to leverage the better intentional use of technology and AI. And so I am that person that is going to automatically know if it's AI. And I'm going to say, well, what do you think first? You put all of that in there and then you leverage AI instead of getting AI to do it for you. So I'm really big on that. So I am like a lover of prompt engineering. The bigger, the longer the prompt, because I also focus on sustainability, right? So the least amount of water we can use, and especially for, y'all being based in the Caribbean, it is very much a pain point from an environmental and social restorative care, social justice, all of that, right? And environmental factors. So I focus with organizations that want to be more intentional, moving from the founder mindset and being more social enterprise, small to medium enterprise, so having an enterprise mindset from a family legacy establishment standpoint versus I have this great idea and I want to do this. How is this going to affect the people and the planet? How is this going to affect the profit that I want to make? And how is this going to affect the passion that I have for this? So I am very much a triple bottom line person where all three things don't compromise. They work together from a synergistic standpoint. Aside from that, my background, I've launched the business centers here in the States for the state of Georgia, which is, if you know anything about the United States, Georgia is one of the top one of the top states in the United States, in Atlanta specifically, for small business and entrepreneurship development. And I launched the inaugural Women's Business Center for the state of Georgia. So that's SBA and government, federal funding and things along that nature. I've worked in the recidivism space, so working with founders who have records, getting them to understand expungement opportunities so that they can have access to capital beyond traditional routes. I'm former military for the United States, so I'm former military intelligence, and so I lead with the human intelligence collection viewpoint of things. And so, yeah, linguistics, human intelligence collection, and leverage all of that to be intentionally informed from the geopolitical climate, how that connects to culture mapping. Gabrielle mentioned that as well, how you can definitely understand the localized aspect of what is needed, but then how that can affect the overall geopolitical climate, or how the changes and the shifts in geopolitical climate will affect your entrepreneurial endeavors. So that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you, Nita. And so I'm happy that you made it, and you're
Yeah.
safe from the storm. So
Yes,
but
thank
happy to
you.
have you, and really looking forward to engaging with you over the next 10 weeks.
I'm
I know the
excited
founders
that I have the
will
time
benefit
now.
immensely. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I think this brings us to the end of our formal component. So I'd like to thank all of our partners and mentors for attending today's session. We continue from next week every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. AST. So for all the mentors who are on the call right now, through your mentor account, you can select which sessions you'd like to attend. You're welcome to attend all, but for each session, I'll be calling on at least 1 or 2 mentors to present, and then the other mentors can participate by giving feedback, live feedback to founders when they're practicing their pitches. Apart from that, I encourage you all to set up your office hours so that founders can have some one-on-one, or you can set it up as a group office hour based on your convenience, your availability. So you set your own schedule, and founders can book your calendar. So thank you all. For the founders, I'd like you to remain on the call. We have about 20 minutes left, and we'll be breaking out into rooms for you to elect your working group president. So everyone else, thank you all very much. Truly, truly appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening. Great rest of the week ahead, and see you all next week, Wednesday, thankfully. All right.
All right. I have the meeting rooms set up, the breakout rooms set up. We lost a few people, so one group is a bit smaller, but there's instructions in the chat what you should be doing in the meeting rooms. First of all, get to know each other, introduce yourselves, exchange contact info, and create a WhatsApp group, whatever works best for you. If you can already do this today, select one president for your working group. That'll change during the program. I wrote this in the email earlier, just as a reminder. We'll be rotating the working groups, so this is not kind of set in stone forever. It's just for the first few weeks. What else is important? Yeah, that's about it. And if there are too few people today and you cannot decide on a president, then do it in the next day or two. And if you agree on one, please let me know per email. Yeah, and then without further ado,
all right. So let's get everyone
happy networking, and
once you've selected a working group president and introduce yourselves, you can feel free to exit the breakout room, and that'll be the end of this evening's session. So we have another 50 minutes or so.
Okay, so we're not coming back to the main room.
They can come back just to say bye. But
okay, so
in essence,
we're here, and
yeah.
All right, I'll open the rooms and see you guys later.
Are there going to be mentors in each room?
Pardon me, Adana?
I have not assigned the I have not assigned the mentors to the rooms. I think it's founders only.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for the founders to get to know each other, and then amongst themselves, they will elect someone who could represent the group as the president to lead the group. Yeah. And there's some note takers. Let me start removing the note takers. I'll leave Emil, Angela. I guess I could remove all these note takers now. Adana, I feel bad because even though you reminded me twice, I still didn't hit record.
Do you want to stop recording
That's
now?
okay. Do I have control over that when you make me host?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, okay, well, probably next time I could do it also.
I see it recording here now though. So was it on all the time?
It was
I
on.
wonder.
Yes, yes.
Oh, it
Okay.
was? Okay.
But sometimes I
I
say it's
saw
recorded,
it.
then we found out it's not recording.
I'm clicking it and nothing is happening.
Maybe that's my note taker.
That's another thing.
And I saw the recording progress button.
Yeah, I'm seeing it there now too. Just remove.
He should be in a breakout room.
Yeah.
Welcome